Hey there everybody, this is the Gamer Secrets, and today I'm going to be playing some Prisoner Architect. I'm going to play through the campaign, and then I might play some non-campaign. So, I'm going to start with Chapter 1, obviously. Let's answer the call. This is a tough one. There's a prisoner incarcerated at this facility who's been convicted of a double murder and sentenced to death. That's where we come in. We've been contracted to construct an execution chamber in time for the guy's big day. So that must be where they want that. This is where I want the new facility to be built. The first step with any project like this is to construct the building itself with enough space inside to fit an execution room and a holding cell. So let's get started constructing the new building here. We will also need an entrance to the new execution facility. Build a large jail door into the south wall. Well, we'll start with the door then. And then we'll go foundation. I like brick. And we'll do a brick one. I'm going to speed up the time. Your workmen are responsible for the construction of the buildings. They're collecting the steel and concrete from this storeroom and take it to the construction site. They'll use those raw materials to build the new foundation and frameworks of your new building. This is the slowest part of construction, so you should plan ahead when building new facilities. While we wait, let's take a look around. Use WASD or the arrow keys to move around, and the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. That's pretty simple. 3 times speed. Yay, they finished it. Inside the building, I want a cell and an execution room. Partition the space off by constructing some brick walls. Oh, that should be simple enough. Now add large jail doors to those dividing walls. You can rotate an object before placing it by clicking the middle mouse button or by pressing R. I'll just use R, it's easier on my mouse. That's looking good. We now need to designate rooms within those spaces. Designate a cell in the smaller area where our condemned inmate will be living. Then designate the execution room itself to the larger area. We'll start with the execution room. And then we'll do the cell. And those new rooms have requirements before they become functional. The cells need a bed and a toilet. The execution room requires the electric chair. Now we'll put in the electric chair there. Rotate the toilet. And the bed can go there. Let's fast forward, guys. We ain't got all day. Okay, well, really we do, but I don't like to take all day. Oh, another call. That's the essentials taken care of, but there are still a few improvements you could make. It's up to you, though. These aren't strictly required. It depends on how much you care about your prisoner and their environment. The cell itself could be improved with an outward-facing window and a small bookshelf. And the facility would look better with a higher quality flooring material like wooden floorboards and mosaic tiles. Well, I can deal with that. And I'm gonna... Outside you can add some lighting and a paved pathway if you think it needs it. Well, yeah, it does. Let's see. This is the man in question, Edward Romsey. A teacher once, would you believe it? It's not our place to decide if he deserves this. The law has made that decision. We're just here to do a job. Once you are satisfied with the facility is ready, you can begin the prisoner transfer to his new cell. Simply click on the Polaroid in his cell to initiate the transfer. Well, let's go gussy up this area. I'm just going to pause the game here. Let's go materials. Paving stones. The paving stones there. We'll do a wooden floor in there. Ceramic in this spot. We'll do a Masonic in here. We'll do windows. I'll put in 2. We got lighting. I just like to have the path lit up. Okay, where's the bookshelf? Bookshelves. We'll put one in there. I think we should also put in a radio. If there are such things. Yes, there is. Let's put in a radio in here. Alright, let's let them get to work. I wonder what stone they used right there, because that looks so much nicer. Or, no, that's, oh, I know. That's just because that's the outlay of the yard. So, that's everything. I think we could use some more lights inside this room. Put another light in that corner. Alright, well, let's click on the Polaroid. The chief is calling now. Don't shed one tear for this guy. He's a stone-cold killer. Guilty as charged. He even confessed. Want to hear his description of what he did? It's juicy stuff. It was around 11 p.m. The lights were already on. I knew she was home. Clear as day, if you ask me. Deserves every volt he's gonna get. All men deserve forgiveness, the priest said. Even him. Are you so sure in yourself that you can deal out such a final judgment? The chief. Catching your wife with another man is no excuse for what he did. And he went there with a loaded gun, knowing he'd find them together. That's double premeditated murder. The priest. He's done nothing but cooperate with the authorities. The state is making an example out of him. If he'd committed his crime 100 miles north, he'd be looking at life imprisonment instead. How is that justice? Chief. Do you want a guy like this running free? I'll sleep just fine at night knowing when he's gone. The CEO. Good work so far. However, there is one problem. The execution room isn't fully functioning yet because it doesn't have any power. We need to connect it to the electrical supply. Well, that would be a problem. See, that's out there. We are now viewing the prison in utilities mode, which shows us the electrical wiring layout for the entire prison. Each building in the prison is connected to the power grid by these thick underground electrical cables. The power is provided to the prison by the substation, which draws electricity from the national grid. As you can see, this entire wing of the prison cells is without power. All of the lights are out. To fix this problem, we first need to switch into utilities mode to understand why the lights are without power. The nearest electrical cables are too far away. Our engineers can't complete the wiring for this area. Extend the electrical cables nearby to cover the wing of this prison. Okay, well, I can work on that. Well, I'll just go like this. Watch them work like little fast people. One more thing and that whole thing should be live. Yes, it is. Let's see. Oh. Lights aren't the only thing that needs power. Your new electric chair does too. Use the power cables to connect the execution facility to the power grid. Well, I can do that. The electric chair itself is a special type of electrical item. It requires its own dedicated power line. You'll need to connect directly with the main cables. Okay, I can do that. First, though, I'm going to pause this. I like to run an outline around here. I think it's the best option. We'll connect that. We'll come over like that, and we'll go like that. I figure this way, if we add on to the building, the whole thing will be covered still. Yay, power! Another call. We are almost done. I think we should test the new electric room at least once before we try to use it, though. I'm just going to turn on the power for a few seconds to make sure everything is okay. And it seems like it is. Oh, that's bad. Well, that didn't work. Looks like we drew too much power and tripped a circuit breaker in the power station. The whole prison is dark. We're going to need more juice to be able to handle the power spike that the electric chair generates. First, we need to turn the power back on. This is a two-step process. Switch the power station back on by clicking on it and selecting Switch On the main menu that appears. Then build 3 more capacitors, so that way we have enough power capacity to handle the electric chair. Once you've done that, test the electrical chair again by clicking on it and selecting the switch on menu. Capacitors. Come on, people. Yeah, watch that number go up. Alright. Well, let's try the chair again. Seems like it's working. Well done. I believe we are finished with this job. What happens now is out of our hands. We did a professional job and that's important in our business. Try not to worry about what happens next. Can I help you? The priest said. Edward. Priest, are you looking for forgiveness? Edward, I don't know. I have to do something. I can't live with the things I have done. The priest, you have to turn yourself in. Whatever you've done, you cannot evade the consequences. You will never be able to live with yourself until you face up to your past. Edward, I want to go back. I want to forgive her. I want her to forgive me. My priest, God will forgive you no matter what you have done, if you ask him to. But you must answer for your crimes in the eyes of the law. There is no other way. It's time, Edward. You have done the right thing, even though this world will not forgive you for it. You will be with God soon, and he will have the final judgment on you. Chief. Edward Ramsey, you have been found guilty of 2 counts of murder in the 1st degree. The penalty is death. Do you have anything to say? Edward, Susan, I am sorry. Well, that is it for this episode, guys. Chapter 2 will be another episode.